Isn't it true that Agent Tebow and FBI Supervisory Intelligence Analyst Brian Otan covered up derogatory information about Mr. Hunter Biden?
When I read the letter that describes the kinds of things that you're talking about, I found it deeply troubling.
Lawmakers are grilling FBI Director Christopher Wray this week over the FBI cover-up of damning information about Hunter Biden. Wray now says payments from China, we know it's tens of millions of dollars, payments from China and other countries to Americans like Hunter Biden could be part of a, quote, malign foreign influence campaign. As if we did not know that, Dagan McDowell. Yes, but why are we focused on this now with the FBI? Where was the FBI during the impeachment trial of President Trump when they were sitting on that laptop acting as if they didn't have all of this information about money going to Hunter Biden?
Right. The FBI and also the liberal, I call them clatterbags in D.C. and on TV, who spent more than 4 years trying to disrupt or destroy a presidential campaign and then undermine a presidency, calling President Trump an agent of Russia, Putin's puppet over and over again. But what about now? The liberals, the left, they cannot put the hammer down on this weakness from Joe Biden. It raises a question, and you've talked about this over and over again. Biden on China. He is silent on Taiwan, silent on the origins of COVID that killed more than 1 million Americans, silent on the fentanyl poisonings that are killing tens of thousands of Americans, the #1 cause of death for young Americans now, tens of thousands of Americans dead every year. And that he is the big daddy, the big guy of a compromised son who was financially rewarded by China. Where's the outrage over this? Where's the media and calling this out? And what about the FBI? All we get from Chris Wray is, "Oh, that's bad. We're going to look into it." Really?
Yeah, right. That's right. That's right. What have you done? How many times does Christopher Wray have to tell us that China is our biggest adversary? And look, obviously the CCP got their guy in there. John, this is exactly what the CCP wanted. A guy in the White House who's going to forgive all of their bad behavior, the intellectual property theft, the COVID cover-up, and fentanyl is a major crisis, killing 24 to 48-year-olds in America, 100,000 deaths overdosed, though, over the last year. Yeah, no comment from Biden.
It's so very sad. You know, here we see an example of where the Chinese bought Joe Biden. So how could Biden possibly take the type of actions that are necessary in order to tell the Chinese what it is that they need to do? I want to add one thing here. I think this is very important, and that is what Hunter Biden did. If that was done by somebody working for a U.S. corporation, not only would that individual be fired on the spot, that individual would face a lot of legal charges. And regarding the FBI, it is so sad that we see this agency being politicized in the way that has been the case over the past couple of years because of this fear of Republicans, especially Donald Trump and associates. When you politicize the FBI, Americans lose faith in government. And of course, this gives rise to a lot of these conspiracy theories that often prove to be far off the mark. It's a troubling situation.
It's a very good point. Many of us lost faith after the fake Russia collusion lie, which the FBI was running with, despite having facts otherwise.